Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, record cold in the East, record warm in the West. Our exclusive with the 5-year-old boy detained by ICE.
Also celebrating Catherine O'Hara. And we're going to take you backstage with Lady Gaga and more at the Grammys. State of emergency. Historic snow in North Carolina, sparking chaotic conditions on the roads, leading to nearly 1,000 traffic collisions in that state alone. This home collapsing after another major snowstorm. Now the bitter cold alerts from Miami to Massachusetts. Nearly all of the Sunshine State under a freeze warning right now. Ginger is tracking it all and when we might get some relief.
New fallout overnight. As 3 million more pages are released from the Epstein files, survivors call on 2 judges to shut down the website immediately, after a number of them had their identities exposed. We also learned more about some of the powerful men Jeffrey Epstein was communicating with.
An ABC News exclusive, our John Quinones with a 5-year-old boy and his father detained by ICE on their journey back home to Minneapolis.
Urgent investigation. A possible unauthorized biological laboratory inside a Las Vegas home. What federal investigators say they found. Celebrating Catherine O'Hara.
This wine is awful. Give me another glass.
Her co-stars on Creek pay homage to her heart and her humor.
May you have as much joy being holed up in a room or two with your family as I had with my dear Roses.
This morning, we remember O'Hara's decades of making us laugh, from Best in Show to The Studio, and her bond with Home Alone's Macaulay Culkin.
Are you ready to return to the runway?
Am I having a hallucination?
No, you are not. It really is the first trailer for The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Sorry, who is this?
We'll tell you who's who. And who did Cher say won Record of the Year?
The Grammy goes to Luther Vandross! No, Kendrick Lamar!
We have all the biggest moments.
Lady Gaga!
Olivia Dean.
We'll read behind the scenes with the night's biggest winners on music's biggest night. After a huge night for
Bad Bunny!
Right before he takes center stage at the Super Bowl as we welcome the Grammys to ABC. Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America. You heard me, the Grammys headed right here to ABC in just a year, and we cannot wait. But first, we'll read all the action from backstage. There he is, and the red carpet with last night's biggest winners.
It was a big night for Bad Bunny, no question. The beginning of a big week. Of course, he's going to take the stage at the Super Bowl later this week, and we're counting down to the big game live at the stadium.
We are doing that, but first we're going to track the bitter cold, the chaos after the weekend winter storm. Ginger standing by with when we might feel some relief. And Janae Norman starts us off along the iced-over Hudson River here in New York. Good morning, Janae.
Hey, Robin, good morning. The camera doesn't really do it justice seeing these ice chunks here freezing over the Hudson River, as it is another frigid day here in New York City, brutally cold as it has been for the last week, watery eyes and all along the entire East Coast. There are cold weather alerts from Massachusetts down to Florida as parts of the region are recovering from the second of 2 winter storms. This morning, chaotic conditions for millions after the weekend winter storm that brought record-setting snow, followed by those frigid temperatures. Nearly 1,000 traffic collisions and 2 deaths in North Carolina. The governor there declaring a state of emergency.
We had the kind of snowstorm that we don't get, but our fear is that with temperatures staying below freezing, roads will be bad across the state for days to come.
More than 100 motorists stranded for hours after this tractor trailer crashed on I-85 just outside of Charlotte, about 45 miles down the interstate. Video capturing a driver getting out of the way just seconds before a train collides with his tractor trailer stuck on the tracks. Luckily, no one was injured. And in the Outer Banks, this house collapsing into the ocean. Flurries seen as far south as Florida, running irrigation to protect orange trees, resulting in icicles. And this morning, most of the state of Florida is under a freeze warning. We've got those frigid temperatures hanging around in the Midwest and Northeast. Could see snow later this week. George.
Okay, Janae, thanks very much. Snow
Yeah. We're not going to have a lot of snow here. Don't worry about the snow part, except it's really not going anywhere, the stuff that we have on the ground, and that's been the problem. It's Groundhog's Day, but it feels like it's been Groundhog's Day. Here in New York, we're on day 10, where we could see sub-freezing temperatures all in a row tomorrow. Maybe we get to 32. Woo! It's going to feel big. But there are cold weather advisories from Utica, New York, all the way down to Miami, back over to New Orleans this morning. The wind chills feel like 3 in Pittsburgh or 19 in Jacksonville. Still feels sub-freezing far south, and even New Orleans here feeling sub-freezing. So how long does it last? Well, the moderation, at least for us, is only tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we get even colder by the weekend. But look at this. The numbers stay okay, St. Louis, and then you see Orlando with some moderation too. But this pattern is set. The records are still falling as far as record heat out west, Robin.
All right, Ginger, our thanks to you. We'll get back to you in just a little bit. But now our exclusive interview. You'll recognize this image right here that got national attention. A small boy wearing a Spider-Man backpack, detained by federal agents in Minnesota, along with his father. They are back home after a federal judge ordered their release in a strongly worded ruling that condemned the government's conduct. John Quinones spoke with the father and son, was on the flight back home with them. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Robin. It was a very emotional flight from San Antonio to Minneapolis. A father and son headed home and a family reunited. Feliz means happy, and that's how Adrian Conejo Arias and his 5-year-old son Liam are feeling this morning, following their release from a Texas detention facility, spending more than a week in federal custody.
Do you want some gifts?
ABC News exclusively joining the father and son on their journey back home to Minneapolis Sunday. Conejo Arias, originally from Ecuador, says they were arrested unjustly.
Es injusto que arresten a personas que solamente vienen a este país a luchar, a sacar adelante a su familia.
But now that they're going back home, Liam is looking forward to reuniting with his mother and his brother. The U.S. District Judge ordering the pair's release in a blistering ruling, writing that the case has its genesis in the ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. The judge, including the now viral image of Liam the day he was detained in his driveway, arriving home from preschool. Underneath the picture, 2 Bible verses, one of which is John 11:35. Jesus wept. Conejo Arias describing the conditions inside the detention facility as not great. They could not give him medicine? No le podían dar medicina?
No.
Alleging that Liam became sick while there and was denied medication. The father and son's detainment sparking national outcry. The Department of Homeland Security says ICE did not target or arrest a child, claiming that when agents went to arrest the father, he fled on foot, abandoning his child.
El gobierno dice que abandonaste a tu niño. The government says you abandoned your son.
I asked Adrian about that account. He tells me he was walking a few feet ahead of Liam, trying to alert people who would come out and who could help them. He says, I love my son too much. I would never abandon him.
The judge also taking aim at some of the Trump administration's immigration enforcement tactics, writing, administrative warrants issued by the executive branch to itself do not pass probable cause muster. That is called the fox guarding the hen house.
Adrian Conejo reminds us that his family is in the U.S. legally. They have filed for asylum, and they have a court hearing coming up on that later this month. But the U.S. Justice Department says they will fight that. They want to see this family deported. George.
John Quinones, thanks. Latest now in the Epstein files, 3 million more pages have been released, but some lawmakers say that's not enough, joined by victims who want the courts to protect their privacy. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has the story. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. That massive release sparking new headlines by the hour. And the fallout and pain Jeffrey Epstein has caused his victims is still playing out in real time.
Overnight, the survivors calling on 2 New York judges to provide emergency relief and shut down the Epstein Files website immediately after a number of them had their identities exposed. Writing, DOJ committed what may be the single most egregious violation of victim privacy in one day in United States history. DOJ officials say they work to correct any mistakes when they become known.
Every time we hear from a victim or their lawyer that they believe that their name was not properly redacted, we immediately rectify that.
But the emergency request includes this quote from a person whose name has never been divulged before, saying, "I've never come forward. I'm now being harassed by the media and others. This is devastating to my life." The document's also raising serious questions about why Jeffrey Epstein was given such leniency after investigators initially uncovered potentially breathtaking criminal activity.
It is just this incredible, deep, visceral level of frustration and disappointment and sadness and grief.
Released for the first time, the original prosecution memo from a DOJ lawyer in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami in 2007, showing that federal authorities had uncovered evidence pointing to the broad scale and depravity of Epstein's molestation and exploitation of girls and young women. According to the memo, FBI agents discovered that Epstein arranged for massage appointments for girls and women ranging in age from 14 to 23 years old, with victims receiving a finder's fee of $200 if they recruited other girls. The memo goes on to warn that Epstein represented a continued danger to the community based on his continued enticement of underage girls. Federal prosecutors initially wanted to charge Epstein with at least 60 felony counts, but in the end, Epstein was offered a deal where he served only 13 months of an 18-month prison sentence on Florida state charges, even allowed to work in his office during weekdays. President Trump's name comes up thousands of times in the Epstein files, mostly in news articles, but also in emails written by Epstein himself. The newly released files also include records of unverified tips to investigators, including some uncorroborated information pertaining to Trump and other high-profile individuals. The two men had a falling out, and the president says he cut off contact with Epstein decades ago. DOJ officials have said the allegations regarding President Trump are false and do not come from credible sources. The new documents are also placing even more scrutiny on men who we've known spent time with Epstein. Among the thousands of new photos released, these never-before-seen images of former Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles last year over his relationship with Epstein. Now seen here, crouched over a young woman, her face redacted, the date and context of the interaction unclear. Representatives for Andrew have not responded to a request for comment, but now the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is calling for Andrew to testify before Congress. Epstein was freed in 2009, and the newly released documents show he continued to communicate with some of the most powerful men in the world. The newly released documents show in 2012 Epstein emailing tech billionaire Elon Musk, allegedly discussing plans for Musk to visit Epstein's private island in the Caribbean. In one email, it appears Musk asked, quote, "What day night will be the wildest party on your island?" Musk says he never went to the island, and this weekend said he has long advocated for the release of files. Epstein had been cozying up to some of the most influential men on the planet since the 1990s. All have denied any wrongdoing and any knowledge of crimes or Epstein targeting children.
So much collateral damage to so many, and it's becoming clear that every prominent person who spent time with Epstein is likely regretting it. George?
Pierre Thomas, thanks. Now to a new report about a United Arab Emirates royal investing $500 million into Donald Trump's cryptocurrency firm, raising questions about conflict of interest and national security. Jay O'Brien is in Washington with the details. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, George. This was a deal in the hundreds of millions of dollars where the buyer was never disclosed. And this morning, there's new reporting it was a top foreign official making a transaction that directly benefited the Trump family.
This morning, the bombshell report in the Wall Street Journal describing an unparalleled deal with a foreign leader directly benefiting the president and his children to the tune of tens of millions of dollars.
I, Donald John Trump.
Just days before Trump's second inauguration, the Journal reports 49%, nearly half of the Trump family crypto company World Liberty Financial, was purchased for $500 million by Sheikh Tahnoun bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who heads the United Arab Emirates State Investment Fund and serves as National Security Advisor, sometimes referred to as the Spy Sheikh. The deal confirmed in a statement from World Liberty Financial to ABC News, and unlike any business transaction connected to a sitting president before, sparking a firestorm of conflict of interest concerns. The Journal reporting the Trump family earned an upfront payment of an estimated $187 million in the deal, with another $31 million reportedly going to the family of Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, also involved in the crypto company. Months later, the Trump administration approved something the Sheikh and others in the UAE long coveted, the sale of hundreds of thousands of cutting-edge American artificial intelligence chips to that country. A move the previous administration blocked, where the state-of-the-art technology could be sold or smuggled to China.
Every chip that China has is a chip they can be using against us.
Senator Elizabeth Warren writing the administration, quote, sold out American national security in order to benefit the president's crypto company. Some ethics experts warning the deal violates the Constitution's prohibition on U.S. officials receiving gifts from foreign governments.
Why is Donald Trump focused on enriching himself, his family, and his friends, as opposed to focused on driving down the high cost of living?
A spokesman for World Liberty Financial telling ABC News any claim that this deal had anything to do with the administration's actions on chips is 100% false, saying neither the president nor Witkoff had any involvement and haven't been involved in the company since taking office. But the Trump family, including the president, still own a 38% stake in World Liberty, and its website lists Trump and Witkoff as co-founder emeritus. Not mentioned on the site, the firm's UAE backers.
Now, this morning, the White House is denying any conflict of interest, saying the president has, quote, no involvement in business deals that would implicate his constitutional responsibilities, and pointing out the president's assets are in a trust. However, it's not a traditional hands-off blind trust, but one managed by his children, guys.
Nothing traditional about that. All right. Thank you, Jay. Now the countdown to the Super Bowl. Lara is here with more on the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Yeah, here we go, Robin. It all begins today in San Jose, California, with Super Bowl 60 opening night, formerly known as Media Day, where fans are invited to attend sessions with both teams, hearing from players and coaches. The Seahawks arriving in the Bay Area last night. Quarterback Sam Darnold wants a first-round draft bust. What? I disagree with that. But now just one win away from proving all of his doubters wrong. I have always been a believer. The Patriots now also in town for the big game after a rally at Gillette Stadium and pumping up the crowd. Quarterback Drake May, he's listed, guys, as questionable because of a shoulder injury and illness, but he is expected to play on Sunday. Yes, he's not missing this one. All right, now let's talk football fashion, shall we? The Pats are the designated home team, and it makes sense. They're going with their all-white look. They are 5-0, after all, in their whites this season. However, turns out the Seahawks are happy with this decision because they're 6-0 in their blues. So everybody's going to be looking like winners. And if you want to go to the game, get ready to take out a loan. The cheapest tickets that we could find available on the secondary market, currently about $5,000 a piece, guys.
Nothing gets past you.
Yeah, exactly.
Fashion at the Super Bowl.
Thank you, Lara. All right, coming up backstage at the Grammys, Will Reeve was there for music's biggest night. Hey there, Will.
That's right, Robin. Good morning to you. It was the biggest night in music, and I talked to all the big winners backstage here. All the best moments from the Grammys are coming up right here.
All said, Lara's going to remember Catherine O'Hara.
I sure am. Yeah, we have the very latest on the reactions to the shocking death of the comedy legend. We've got new tributes coming in from her co-stars.
And we're standing by Puxatawny Phil to find out if the famous groundhog will see his shadow, indicating 6 more weeks of winter. Say it ain't so.
Hope your week's off to a good start. We'll be right back.
It's Puxatawny Phil!
You heard the man, and just moments ago, bad news.
Phil.
We've already had enough of winter, but he saw his shadow. 6 more weeks of winter.
Let's get a second opinion.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
please.
Also new at 7:30 this morning, a possible unauthorized biological laboratory inside a Las Vegas home is under investigation. Investigators in hazmat suits scoured the home for hours and arrested the property manager. Authorities working to determine what the substances found are and what the Chinese national who owns the place might have intended to do with them. All the materials are being taken to a secure lab for inspection and testing. Criminal charges could be possible. 3 fraternity members are under arrest, booked on hazing charges after the death of a Northern Arizona University student. Police say the 18-year-old was found unresponsive after a pledge event for Delta Tau Delta fraternity.
Have a travel alert for you this morning. Real ID is now required for domestic flights. If you show up without one, it's going to cost you $45 and up to 30 minutes in longer wait times. The TSA recommends paying online in advance or bring your passport, which is fully compliant with Real ID requirements. Oh, it's sad to hear about this. Fans remembering Damon Wilson, who starred in the hit 1970s sitcom Sanford and Son. For 6 seasons, he sparred on screen with his feisty junk dealer father, played by Red Fox. And after the series ended, he was ordained as a minister, stepped away from showbiz. Wilson had been battling prostate cancer. He was 79.
It was such a good show.
Yeah. Now to music's biggest night, the 68th annual Grammy Awards. Will Reeve is in Los Angeles for us. He was there for all the excitement, went behind the scenes with the night's biggest winners. Did you have a good time, Will? Good morning.
I sure did, Robin. Good morning to everyone. It was a great night. Bad Bunny cleaned up, Justin Bieber stripped down, Lady Gaga cast a spell. Overall, it was a magical night full of energy and emotion. And then backstage right here, I got to talk to all the winners.
Bad Bunny!
Overnight, Bad Bunny making Grammys history.
Bad Bunny, te vi quedar.
The Puerto Rican superstar becoming the first Spanish-language artist to win the biggest award of the night, Album of the Year.
I want to dedicate this award to all the people that had to leave their homeland, their country to follow their dreams.
And winning Best Música Urbana album earlier in the night, and getting political.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say eyes out.
The wins kicking off an historic week for the 31-year-old. On Sunday, he'll take center stage at the Super Bowl halftime show. But perhaps the most talked about moment of the night came near the end from Cher.
Oh, the Grammy goes to Luther Vandross.
Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA winning Record of the Year, but Cher saying what sounded like the name of singer Luther Vandross, after whom the song is named. Kendrick officially becoming the most awarded rapper in Grammy's history, with 27 statues, taking the mix-up in stride.
We appreciate you, bottom of our hearts. Luther forever.
And it was a night of big performances. Lady Gaga casting a spell on the Grammys, adding 2 more statues to her collection.
I'm really honored. Being a woman in music, being a songwriter, being a producer is something that really makes me who I am. So I feel a sense of belonging here after almost 20 years.
What do you tell yourself as you follow your dreams?
You know, I always lead myself back to rehearsal and discipline and practicing. Those things for me are like an internal metronome, and it allows me to keep a deep relationship with what I'm creating.
She said, take your time,
The nominees for Best New Artist teaming up for a monster montage.
The Grammy goes to Olivia Dean.
I guess I want to say I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I wouldn't be here. Yeah, I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated.
Olivia checking in with her biggest fan before coming to talk to me.
Was that your mom on the...
That was my mum, yeah. She's the first person I had to call because she was waiting up in London, so I was like, let me actually speak to her.
And country superstar Jelly Roll sweeping his categories, winning 3 awards.
But you are a Grammy winner, and how's that feel?
It is every kid's dream to hold. Every kid that ever wanted to do music.
CEO of the Recording Academy, Harvey Mason Jr., on the magnitude of the show.
I felt it was a great celebration of music, all the different genres, the diversity, the performances. I just thought it was a really special night to kind of come together around music.
And the one and only Lauryn Hill bringing down the house, returning to the Grammy stage after 27 years with a collection of artists, including Wyclef Jean, for a Fugees reunion.
It was all so great. What a moment there from Lauryn Hill. That in memoriam performance was just fantastic. All the performances were amazing. One we didn't get, though, was Bad Bunny. It was a running joke all night with Trevor Noah and Bad Bunny that he cannot perform because he's got the Super Bowl coming up in just a few days. And coming up in about a year, the Grammys are right here on ABC and Hulu and Disney+. We cannot wait because it is such an amazing night. And we're glad to be a part of it, guys.
Absolutely, and glad that you were there. Now get on home safely there, Will. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much to look forward to there. Grammys, we got the Grammys, the Super Bowl, the Oscars, all in 2027.
We're gonna be busy.
We learned the sad news over the weekend that Catherine O'Hara has died. Tributes to her memory and her humanity poured in from co-stars, friends, and fans. Lara has a look back at O'Hara's life and legacy.
The news was just shocking, George. O'Hara had been in several projects recently, and she just had 2 Emmy nominations last year for her roles in The Studio and The Last of Us. Her comedic genius, appreciated by generations of fans who enjoyed her early work on SCTV, in movies like Best in Show and Home Alone, and of course in her iconic Emmy-winning role as Moira Rose.
If heaven had a creek, it would be this one.
This morning, Catherine O'Hara's co-stars paying homage to her humor and her heart.
And I'll be yours until the stars fall from the sky.
On Friday, the 71-year-old rushed to the hospital after having difficulty breathing. Her agency saying she died following a brief illness.
Careful, that's my sculpture.
In 1988, she became a household name as Delia Dietz in Beetlejuice. It was on the set of that movie that she met production designer Bo Welch, who would become her husband of more than 30 years.
Kevin!
She was the mother to Macaulay Culkin in both Home Alone films.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Macaulay writing about O'Hara's passing, "Mama, I thought we had more time. I wanted more."
She was very popular back then. She had dozens of boyfriends.
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yeah, hundreds.
I did not know that.
And her longtime comedy partner Eugene Levy writing, "I had the honor of working with the great Catherine O'Hara for over 50 years.
More precious than a pot of gold.
You do realize the baby is crying?
I do, yes.
Isn't it scheduled to be dormant by now?
The duo bringing home Emmys and winning over a new generation of fans playing Moira and Johnny Rose.
He folds it in. I understand that, but how do you fold it? Do you fold it in half like a piece of paper and drop it in the pot, or what do you do?
David, I cannot show you everything.
Okay, well, can you show me one thing?
The role reinvigorating her career in her 60s.
May you have as much joy being holed up in a room or two with your family as I had with my dear Roses.
Most recently, O'Hara was nominated for an Emmy for her work in The Last of Us.
You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
And the comedy, The Studio.
They're influencers. Most of them don't even go inside.
Her TV son, Dan Levy, posting, "It's hard to imagine a world without her in it."
Have I ever told you how bewitching you are? It's a compliment.
No, I know, I'm sorry. I'm just feeling like a little emotional today. No, I just realized that this is like the last time that we're all gonna be here.
No.
Like this.
Stop.
And TV daughter Annie Murphy echoing so many of our thoughts, writing, "Gosh, were we ever lucky to have her." Catherine O'Hara was 71 years old. And Steve Martin and Martin Short paid tribute at one of their live shows over the weekend, raising a glass to her and saying she has been great, the most brilliant, kindest, sweetest angel that any of us worked with. So God bless Kate.
Many people share that. Many people share that.
So many.
It was fun to see all that.
Absolutely. We watched a movie this weekend in her honor and just laughed.
And the studio, which you said recently. Brilliant, brilliant. Now with our play of the day and some history, Lara, down under.
Yeah, let's talk tennis, everybody. So, congratulations are in order for Carlos Alcaraz, the #1 in the world, beating Novak Djokovic in the finals of the 2026 Australian Open. And in doing so, he becomes the youngest man at 22 years, 272 days to win a career Grand Slam. Guys, that's the Australian, the French, Wimbledon, and the US Open, all of them combined. Alcaraz looking remarkably fit for a guy who had to endure that 5-hour semifinal to take the win from Alexander Zverev, but he looked downright energetic as he outlasted and outplayed Djokovic in 4 sets. Novak still, after his 25th major, he wants it so badly. It would break the tie he shares with Margaret Court for the most in history, but it was not to be at the Australian Open. Here's Alcaraz talking about his win.
Really happy to see myself in the position that I am right now. Not because lifting the trophy, but seeing myself that I'm just getting mature, and that makes me really proud about myself.
Oh, he's so cute. After the match, Djokovic, he admitted, look, I lost to a #1 in the world and already a legendary player. He's only 22. Everything is possible in his case. I can't think of any other superlatives about him. Yeah,
He was fantastic.
He was very gracious. It was a terrific match. A lot of us got up very early to watch it.
Yeah, we did. He was the youngest man because Steffi and Serena won at a younger
We had
age.
to make sure we made that very clear.
Well, of course you did. Of course you did. Coming up, we are gearing up for Super Bowl 60. Teams are arriving in the Bay Area. Becky Worley is there at the stadium ahead of all the excitement this week. She's excited. Come on back. 2 thumbs up.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. State of emergency. Historic snow in North Carolina sparks chaotic conditions on the roads. Nearly 1,000 traffic collisions in that state alone. This home collapsed after another major snowstorm. Now the bitter cold alerts from Massachusetts to Miami. Nearly all the Sunshine State under a freeze warning right now. Is there relief in sight?
Incredible survival story. A 41-year-old seemingly healthy mom collapsing during a family bike ride in Central Park.
I'm a pretty avid runner and I'm a super healthy person. I watch what I eat.
Her stepson, certified in CPR just the week before, jumping into action to save her life. This morning, why women's symptoms are different and what to know about cardiac arrest. Dr. Narula is live.
Celebrating music's biggest night with your favorite performers on stage and behind the scenes.
I never really imagined that I would be up here.
Plus, the head of the Recording Academy joins us live as the Grammys gear up for ABC.
Oh my God.
And OMG, Usher and Big Sean join us live. How the global superstars are inspiring young people. They tell us about their new project. As we say, Good Morning, America. Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good Morning, America. First Monday of the brand new month, and we are looking forward to catching up with Usher and Sean, Big Sean.
All set after an incredible night at the Grammys. We're going to talk live to the CEO of the Recording Academy, Harvey Mason Jr., about the biggest moments on and off the stage, and of course the exciting future of music's biggest night. They are coming here.
Right here to ABC, but first we're going to look at the top stories, breaking at 8, starting with the bitter cold. Chaos on the roads after the weekend winter storm. Ginger, tracking it all. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, good morning to you, Robin. It's always wild to see these pictures. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, even when we know it's going to snow at the beach, just to see it. They had up to a half foot of snow in Myrtle Beach. And then in parts of North Carolina, this is in the mountains, more than a foot, but you had more than a foot all the way over to just near the Outer Banks, too. So this morning, it is still very cold. West Palm Beach had their coldest air since 1989 over the weekend this morning. 27, the wind chill in Orlando. And look what's going to happen. We will start to see some moderating temperatures up to the 70s tomorrow. New York City, we could see our first freezing in 9 or 10 days this week, so that's exciting. Unfortunately, though, things cool off again behind that unless you are west. So from Minneapolis and Kansas City back over to the southwest, things are warmer than average going through later next week. George.
Okay, Ginger, now to the latest on the partial government shutdown. It has hit. Lawmakers are scrambling to pass a compromise funding deal amid a showdown over the administration's immigration crackdown. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has the story. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Yeah, the federal government remains partially shut down this morning. And while the House Speaker says he is convinced they can get this done by tomorrow, the road ahead here is rocky. The sticking points remain new restrictions on ICE. Now, last week, the president cut a deal with Senate Democrats to pass a 2-week extension of funding for the Department of Homeland Security to buy time to negotiate. But Democrats over in the House aren't totally on board. It means that Speaker Mike Johnson will likely have to pass this with just Republican votes. And even if he pulls that off, Congress would then have just 2 weeks to reach a deal on a host of thorny issues related to ICE as Democrats demand that federal agents be unmasked, that they wear body cameras, and that the use of warrants be tightened, George.
Okay, Mary. Meantime, the president announced he's shutting down the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, George, President Trump says that the Performing Arts Center is, quote, tired, broken, and dilapidated, and has announced that he wants to shut it down for roughly 2 years starting on the 4th of July so that he can build what he's calling a new, quote, entertainment complex. It comes as we've seen a slew of cancellations by high-profile performers, backlash as the president has sought to overhaul the institution, which now bears his name. George.
Right. There was also a full renovation in 2019. Mary Bruce, thanks very much. Coming up in our GMA morning menu, how a young man helped save his stepmom's life after she collapsed, and what women should know about sudden cardiac arrest. Dr. Narula is standing by.
Also had Super Bowl 60 week officially kicks off this morning because Becky Worley is there, has all the excitement from the stadium ahead of the big game.
Plus, Usher and Big Sean join us live from Detroit, telling us about their new project, how they're giving back to young people. There they are, and Leo's got some special guests.
I sure do. Here with Tori Johnson, and we're kicking off Black History Month with amazing founders sharing their deals and steals from small businesses. It's coming up right here on GMA, and truly something for everyone. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Let's do this.
We are back with our GMA cover story, February American Heart Month, and we're launching a new series called Heart to Heart with our chief medical correspondent, cardiologist Dr. Tara Narula. Focus this morning, women's heart health.
Yes, heart health in general, but women's heart health for sure. So this is my favorite topic, as you know. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in the country, claiming more than 400,000 lives every year. What's particularly alarming is that many women miss the early warning signs. And this morning, we have an incredible story of survival for one mom, a physical education teacher who went into sudden cardiac arrest. At 41 years old, PE teacher Lindsay McCodrum thought she was the picture of health.
I'm a pretty avid runner and I'm a super healthy person. I watch what I eat. Hello.
But a family vacation to New York City last summer revealed the scary truth. On a bike ride with her family through Central Park, Lindsay told her husband she didn't feel well, stepped off her bike, and collapsed.
My color went like gray and my lips started to go blue and I just I wasn't moving.
Her 19-year-old stepson, Maddox, who had been recertified in CPR just the week before, recognized she was in cardiac arrest and started CPR.
My dad was in shock, kind of froze up a bit. And then that's kind of when that's kind of when we have to start it.
Bystanders called 911 and a doctor who happened to be on the scene took over CPR. Lindsay says paramedics shocked her 7 times before her heart started again.
Cardiac arrest is a condition in which the heart stops pumping. For somebody who's otherwise young, healthy, in great shape, exercises regularly, it's extraordinarily rare.
Lindsay was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital, where doctors said she had less than a 10% chance of surviving. Her parents flying in to say goodbye. When she did improve, the Canadian mom learned she had a weakening of her heart muscle called cardiomyopathy, caused by a gene mutation. But there were warning signs she ignored.
I remember feeling exhausted on a couple of my runs before this happened. And I remember telling a couple of my friends saying, I think I'm getting older. I'm getting out of shape.
Lindsay, forever proud of Maddox for saving her life, has a message.
If something feels off, you need to get it checked out. And CPR saves lives. Everyone needs to be trained in CPR.
This morning is Lindsay's first day back at school since she went into cardiac arrest last June, and she sent us this photo. We wish her all the best, and she would still love to identify and thank those bystanders who helped her that day in Central Park. We're sharing a message from her to help find them on our social media channels.
Good, yeah. So sudden cardiac arrest is not a heart attack?
It's not, and there can be a lot of confusion around this. Sudden cardiac arrest is a primary electrical problem where your heart develops an arrhythmia and you're essentially unable to pump blood to the brain, the lungs, the kidneys, everywhere. A heart attack is more of a circulation problem where typically you'll get a blockage in one of the arteries that supplies blood to the heart. Sudden cardiac arrest, George, over 300,000 of those every year in this country, 10% survival generally. Every minute that goes by without CPR, your survival chance.
CPR critical.
Critical, drops 7 to 10% for every minute. And unfortunately in this country, the rates of bystander CPR are only around 40%. We heard about Maddox in the piece. You know, many states in this country, the majority of them require CPR training before graduation, but not all of them. But it's so fast. Kids can learn it in one class period. So, you know, I would really encourage anyone here, anyone at home who hasn't learned hands-only CPR, this is something you can do, you know, very quickly, very easily, push hard and fast in the center of the chest. The American Heart Association has a playlist with kind of like songs, like Staying Alive. Exactly. And you literally can save the life of someone you love because most arrests happen outside of the home, in your home, with someone you love or a family member.
It's something simple that we all could do.
Yes.
Cardiovascular disease, leading cause of death.
Yep.
When it comes to women, and you said this before, the symptoms are often missed or dismissed. And so what are the warning signs? What should women be looking for?
You know, Robin, so cardiovascular disease, we say this every year, causes more deaths in women than all forms of cancer and chronic lower respiratory disease and diabetes combined. Unfortunately, only about 44% of women recognize that it's her greatest health threat. And so, you know, the medical establishment has failed women in a lot of ways. We say that women have been underdiagnosed, under-researched, and undertreated. And so really the burden now has been shifted to women to be advocates for themselves. And they can do that in a few ways. Number one is knowing your risk factors. And those can be the traditional risk factors like blood pressure and diabetes, but there are female-specific risk factors like early periods, early menopause, pregnancy complications, autoimmune conditions, inflammatory bowel disease. There's a whole list that cardiologists can review with you. The second is to recognize symptoms. So a lot of people think it has to be chest pain. In women, many times it can be jaw pain, shoulder pain, back pain, shortness of breath. It can be palpitations, fainting, or feeling lightheaded. And then one common one can just be extreme fatigue or exhaustion. Women will say, I just feel tired, or I can't exercise as much. Exactly. And the third thing is really to not ignore your symptoms and really advocate if someone's telling you you're just anxious or it's just acid reflux. You have to push till a doctor will listen to you.
Yes. So you're giving us so much great information, but can you leave us with one great thing that we want our viewers to remember, our female viewers especially, about heart health?
You know, Lara, I do this every day. I've been an advocate and a spokesperson for the Go Red for Women organization for over 10 years. I help run our Women's Heart program, and somehow, as much as we've made progress, the message is still not getting across. Wow. And it is a third of our mothers, sisters, friends, daughters that are dying from this disease. And women, Lara, will think about their finances, their kids, you know, anything else.
Running the world, essentially.
Running the world, their breasts, their ovaries, their reproductive organs, and not their heart. Right. And 80% of this is preventable with risk factors, with understanding that, with screening, 80%. With prevention. Yeah. So much of this is in our hands. I have 2 daughters, and I think about, for women, all of the weddings, the graduations, the everydays that are missed, that don't have to be missed. So please,
and we're so good at multitasking and doing a million things. This is one thing that is so important for you, for your family.
Yes.
Just do it.
Just go get an evaluation and, you know, see a cardiologist and have your risk factors evaluated.
Great information.
Thank you. Also, congratulations. Your new book, The Healing Power of Resilience, the new prescription for health and well-being, New York Times bestseller.
Instantly,
thank
just
you.
like that.
Thank you, guys, and thank you, everyone who's read the book. And thank you.
We just adore you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on now to Super Bowl 60. So much excitement ahead of kickoff this Sunday, and Bay Area resident Becky Worley is there at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara for us this morning with a preview. Becky, what's on tap?
Lara, Super Bowl 60 happening right here at Levi Stadium, and the excitement is building. The teams arrived yesterday. They'll be practicing at Stanford and San Jose State University under perfect skies, 60s, high 60s and 70s all week. Sorry, rest of America. But it's going to be great here, not just for the players. The fans also have lots of things on tap. Up in San Francisco, they have the Super Bowl experience. This is where they'll have autograph sessions with not just Super Bowl players, but legends of the game. You can do a 40-yard dash, get ready for the combine. I'm sure I'm under four, maybe 5 seconds. I'm feeling pretty fast. But then they also have all of the Super Bowl rings historically on display, so you can check those out. Then moving over Tuesday, we have the Pro Bowl. That's coming up. It'll be broadcast on ESPN. And as you remember, this is not the Pro Bowl. That's a full contact game. This is skills games, and then it culminates in flag football. It is a ton of fun. Tuesday. Then so many concerts. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if I can even get through these. We've got Benson Boone, that's for Ginger, that's her favorite. Noah Kahan, one of my faves. Bay Area natives Kehlani and Green Day. Calvin Harris, Diplo, Sean Paul, T-Pain, The Killers, Ludacris, The Chainsmokers. One I'm super psyched about, Olivia Dean and Shabuzi. I'm taking my family to that one. And I'm trying to figure out if I can get over to the Chris Stapleton concert. He's one of the big headliners. And I mean, this guy is the voice of Monday Night Football. And remember that anthem that he sang at the Super Bowl a few years ago? That was right up there with Whitney Houston for me. This guy's the voice of football. I'm excited for this week.
Wow.
Wow. So I thank you for getting through that all. I had no idea. It's like as much music as it is sport. This is the best. Becky, thank you. Enjoy every second of it.
Now to Deals and Steals, celebrating Black-owned small businesses because it is Black History Month. And so all of the founders of these great companies are here with us for Deals and Steals. And Tori Johnson, you're going to tell us all about it.
I'm so excited about this. I'm also excited because Ashley, the last time she was here, she was decked out in Chanel. And I was like, Ashley, you're not coming back unless you're wearing the goods. So she is. And what I love about this line outfit is no slipping, no rolling, just confidence.
That's right. So we're size inclusive, made for women with real bodies. The leggings help to flatten out the tummy area. Oprah's favorite things 2 times. Ooh. I mean, you can wear this anywhere, shopping, the movies, or even TV.
There you go. There you go. The pieces are fabulous. You were saying the fabric is phenomenal.
So phenomenal.
The colors are beautiful. And it's all 50% off.
Oh.
Can't beat that.
Thank you, Ashley. Looking good.
Okay,
hey,
from Hannah, we've got Scalp First Hair Care.
Oh.
Yes, Sienna Naturals. A healthy scalp will grow your healthiest hair. This is our Happy Shampoo, our hero product. It hydrates the scalp and it has a perfect pH to prevent breakage in the hair. Our Plant Power Hair Mask is your savior this winter.
Okay.
It strengthens the hair, it rebalances the moisture levels. And then our DNA Scalp Serum, this is our best seller. We sold through 1 month's supply in our first day on sale at Sephora.
Wow.
It's a density nourishing serum.
Well, if you're an example, you can see how well it works.
Thank
Beautiful.
The products are phenomenal. Those Sephora sales don't lie, but we're the only ones that have 50% off the entire collection. So if hair health is important to you, you got to get in on it.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
LYS, Love Yourself, and all of these formulas are skincare infused, enabling to us to really love the formulas and ourselves.
Absolutely. As a makeup artist, I wanted to create a brand that we can actually do at the comfort of our home, but be able to get the look of a makeup artist. If you're not sure where to start, all of the products are incredible. You can start with our blushes or our bronzer, which is our best seller. It is never greasy. It gives you the perfect glow. All of our complexion products blur the skin. They're going to give you that effortless look. And our newest concealer, which I'm obsessed with, it is full coverage and you can remove the sponge. So if you're a germaphobe like me, you can take it off, you can wash it, you can reuse it, and it gives you that amazing look under the eyes, any imperfections. This is amazing.
Brilliant idea.
Yes. And I should also add, almost always sold out at Sephora in these shades.
Absolutely.
But you've hooked us up. We've got it all. If you guys went into our any of our glam rooms here, this is what it looks like with this line. Everything /50 to 60% off. Stock up.
And you are glowing. You are glowing. He's back.
He's back.
He's back. Oh, I love this.
That everybody should wear insoles.
Yes,
everybody.
For comfort, alignment, support, and to prevent pain and injury. We work with the top podiatrists in pro sports to build the best insoles in the game. A perfect example of this is how the best athletes in the world, some of the best athletes in the world wear our insoles, including WNBA MVP Asia Wilson,
yes, she does,
who wore them all year long, but then also texted me during the WNBA finals to rush pairs of our insoles to her.
Oh, wow.
Which that video is incredible. I said, when you told me that, you told me she texted you, I'm like, send me some proof. And in a second, that video showed up, which is incredible because it's not just the athletes, but I always feel like if the athletes vouch for it, by the way, you're included in that.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know about being an athlete, but I got to tell you, it has made a difference.
Phenomenal. And so we've got a fabulous assortment today, all slashed in half. All slashed in half.
Where are those socks? Where are those cool?
Yeah, the socks are good too. All right, are you ready? Are you ready?
All right,
are you
ready?
ready for just an indulgence of the senses?
I am.
Yes, yes. So at Brown Girl Jane, we translate emotion through rich, indulgent notes. So not only can you smell great, you're gonna feel it. Oh. And so I have two of our bestsellers, Carnival, which really smells like biting into a juicy mango. You can almost smell the mango juice dripping down your fingers with a little creamy vanilla, but super elevated still.
Phenomenal.
And we also have Carousel, which is another of our bestsellers.
The other wrist.
Yes.
Take the other wrist.
A caramel apple, a gourmand, but done super sophisticated, super rich, and again, just bringing the feels.
It's not overpowering.
It's not overpowering, but really beautiful and really indulgent.
Really beautiful. And that's what you were telling me. Like they're all the scents that we love, but delivered in such an elevated way, sophisticated way. You guys cannot go wrong with any of these. The scents are phenomenal, and like you said, you and I both don't like those overpowering. You want to smell it, but not like take over the room, and that's I feel like what you get with this. And the packaging is also beautiful. It's going to look beautiful on your dresser. All 50% off.
Oh my gosh, it's great savings. Thank you.
So good,
Such
good savings. All right, our face topicals. I have wanted this line on GMA for so long. Finally got a yes here because I think so many people, both of us included, suffer from, you've got those little dark spots, hyperpigmentation. Yep. This is skincare for everybody.
That was my story. I had so many dark spots and discoloration growing up, and so I created Faded. It's a serum that helps to brighten the skin, reduce the risk of dark spots in as little as 6 weeks. And then we launched a cleansing bar with it because we wanted to be able to remove our makeup but also brighten the skin. And then we have our infamous under eye mask. This is the best-selling product at Sephora. #1, we've sold almost 1 million units to date.
Oh my goodness.
And it helps to depuff the under eye, it helps to get rid of any dark circles. And I have a little surprise today and I'm wearing it.
I know, I see that.
We just launched our dark spot patches, which help flatten pimples and reduce the look of dark spots.
And you can really pinpoint it that way.
Pinpoint them, exactly.
Oh, wow.
That way. Phenomenal. So skincare that works. This is all 50% off today. Starts at $8. And I mean, for every single one of these brands, these are phenomenal products. These are bestsellers at Sephora. I didn't let you name drop, but we got some big, not only like the Sephora sellouts, but also, and the beauty awards, but the big shots. Let's just quick end on some name dropping here.
Some Beyonce, Tracy Ellis Ross, Kim K. All fans of the brand.
All fans of the brand.
Yeah, I know.
So are we.
All the people. Thank you so very, very. And you all did a great job. It's not easy to come in here and present your products as well as you have, but we appreciate it. And we partnered with these companies on these great products. You can get them at gmadeals.com. That QR code that you see on your screen right there, it's going to take you right there. Tune in tomorrow. Got to have even more deals. Usha, and Big Sean join us live.
Hello.
Well, look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
Sorry, who is this? Do you know her? Do I know her? I'm Andy Sachs. Andrea.
She was one of the Emilys.
One of the what?
Oh my goodness.
There they are, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci. They are all back in action and ready for their close-ups. That is part of the new trailer for the highly anticipated Devil Wears Prada 2. It has been 20 long years since the first movie came out. The sequel hits theaters May 1st, and we cannot wait.
If that is an example, okay, we're in.
Looks what TJ Maxx dragged in. He's
come on.
Love him.
Fantastic. Cannot wait for that. Now to our GMA Book Club pick for February. It's called The Exes by Leodora Darlington. It's Darlington's first novel. Morgan Norwood talked to her about it.
It's the psychological thriller critics are calling razor sharp, a fitting description for the way Leodora Darlington begins her debut novel, The Exes.
Exes opens with our protagonist, Natalie, who is terrified that she's going to murder her husband.
With the hook that grabs readers from the first page, Leodora centers the novel around Natalie and her husband James, as the skeletons, some literal, in each of their closets begin to haunt their marriage.
I want to dive into the character of this story. What motivates each of them?
I think for Natalie, she's got a slightly warped idea of what happiness looks like, and so she's often looking for it in the wrong places.
Natalie is constantly trying to account for the demise of her exes, right? And it keeps returning back to this idea that you never really know the people that you love. Was that a reckoning that you were consciously aiming for as you were writing?
I think it's impossible for any relationship to be totally equal when it comes to power. But it's really interesting what happens to two people when they realize that one person might be willing to abuse the power disparity that exists. It can really push people to extremes.
The former publishing director turning the page on her own career, stepping into the role of first-time author.
Being on the other side of that, I'm curious how that's influenced your writing process, and where did you want to push the envelope a little bit in terms of this thriller space for your debut?
There are lots of books that have female serial killer protagonists coming out who are very quick-witted and confident with what they do. I was more interested in what if we have a female serial killer who's actually terrified of killing, she doesn't want to do it. And that for me was a nice way of making things fresh.
With an ending that packs an emotional punch, Leodora says she wasn't interested in wrapping the novel up in a nice, neat bow.
I wanted it to feel like there is hope at the end of it, while also not making things cookie cutter neat in a way that life never is.
Yeah, thanks to Morgan for that. The Exes comes out tomorrow. You can follow along with our GMA Book Club on Instagram.
All right, y'all ready for this? We got a major investment in the next generation. Entertainers Usher and Big Sean put $1 million toward an entertainment incubator at the brand new, beautiful Boys and Girls Club in Detroit. And oh, there they are. They got up to join us this morning, gentlemen.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Wonderful to see you both. Oh, the state-of-the-art facility opens tomorrow. You both are Boys and Girls Club alum, as am I. How did you decide, Usher, to become involved in this particular project, including the Spark Lab and Studios?
Well, with all the innovation that I'd seen that Big Sean was a part of, and Boys and Girls Club was a part of here in Greater Michigan, I felt like this was an opportunity for us to continue to expand. As of 2024, I opened the Spark Lab with Boys and Girls Club in Atlanta, and then I saw the opportunity for us to connect Detroit. And you just think about the history of Detroit, the fact that if there were no Motown, there would not be any LaFace Records or any of the entrepreneurs that came out of Atlanta. So here was an opportunity for us to get some economic mobility with young men and women here in Detroit. So that's why I'm a part of it. And not to mention, as you said, as an alumni, this is an opportunity to pay it back to the clubs that invested in me.
Sure, yeah.
And Usher put his money where his mouth is, man. Like he brought it. He had a show here. And he said he wanted to get involved with the kids and really be involved and just like step up. And he really did that. He followed through, and somebody on his stature, his level of just who he is, he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to come to a city he's not from. And, usually people from Detroit have to go to other cities to be a part of something big. He actually came to the city, and he's really changing the narrative of like building it from a city like Detroit out. So I really appreciate you for that, bro. Absolutely, without question. Most people might ask, why Detroit, right? Why not Detroit? Came here in 2008, did I Can't But You Can with all of the youth here. Yeah. So this is a return. This is actually a historical moment for us to be able to do this together. Yeah. Without Ellis, without your foundation, without the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Michigan, we wouldn't be able to do it. So, I'm here, I'm back. Yeah, you know what I mean? For sure.
You both are real. You both are the real deal. And Big Sean, you're a Detroit native. And you say the Boys and Girls Club, and your mom helped you get to where you are now.
Yeah.
You have already given so much back to the community. So what excited you about this particular project?
I mean, what excited me about this particular project is that I used to ride past this train station that was abandoned every single day where the Boys and Girls Club is. And it's not just a regular Boys and Girls Club. This is the leading edge of just innovation. There's a nucleus of the city, a hub of the city. And like you go from every part of this Boys and Girls Club, you got billion-dollar technology, multi-million-dollar businesses. You have StockX, you have our Spatial Lab Studios, you have all these things, and it's just all these collaborations, all of these incubators that everybody, these young adults, these kids, they can come through and really take over the world. You know, this is an opportunity that we didn't have growing up at all. So it's just exciting to be a part of it from that perspective, to see it actually come to fruition. I was here when they broke ground on rebuilding the train station, so you gotta imagine, fast forward almost 10 years later, and it's crazy how fast 10 years go by. You know, you might not see on Usher, you know, he looked the same 10 years
I'm about
ago,
to say,
but you know, a
Big
lot
Sean.
of us 10.
Yeah, I know. What must be all the roller skating or something that keeps them, you know, looking so good.
Yeah, but for a lot, you know, 10 years goes by fast. So let that be a lesson to everybody, especially, you know, the kids who got a lot of future ahead of them, that you invest 10 years, you could change not just your life, you could change so many lives at once.
Yeah, you really can. And I have to say, the way that you all have gone about it, and you described a bit of it. Could you tell us what it was like for you, Usher, to meet the kids who will be using this project, this facility?
I felt like I was meeting myself at 8, even though our program starts to mentor youth at 14 and up. But I felt like I am talking to myself, and that opportunity that some person offered me by mentoring me as a kid led me here. So we are the example of what they could potentially become, but we gotta give them the tools that they need. So we give them a Spark Lab, we give them a Disruptivator Center, we give them access to, you know, effects studios. We give them real tangible things to be able to execute some of their dreams. And hopefully some young entrepreneurs will come out of this incredible venture together.
I'm sure
I know they will.
I know, without a doubt, because, you know, they're now seen, and they know that they're being seen. And Big Sean, of course, this is the start of Black History Month, and inside, a symbol of Detroit's revitalization, Michigan's Central Station you've been talking about. So how does this location help preserve culture?
I mean, truthfully, it's just taking place right in the heart of the city. So it is the culture, and they're buying into every aspect of the community. They really having the people from Detroit, from the east side, from the west side, from the hood, like really in here, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the difference between just like a gentrification type of situation and really empowering the city and giving them the tools and saying, hey, all right, now it's your time to step up. You know what I mean? It's your time to do it. And you know, the fact that I get to just see it happen, I mean, it really feel like, it just feels unreal. These kids, they learning, you know, this is probably the most exclusive club of Boys and Girls Club in America. They learning so many things at once. You know, we got the Shaka Singora Lounge where they're learning. They actually taught a course on my book. I got a book, Go Higher, which is like five practices for purpose, success, and inner peace that I wrote last year. And it's just like they teaching courses on that. They're learning technology. They're learning all these things at once. So yeah, it means a lot for it to be where it's at too. It's not in the suburbs, not on the outskirts. We're right here in the heart of the city. Right
in the heart of the city, getting it done. Well, Big Sean, thank you so much for what you're doing there in Detroit, and for, as you said, for Usher. I've spent time with Usher in Atlanta and what he's doing there, and for him to share his talent in many ways there with you means a lot. Means a lot. Thank you both so very much.
He's the guy for sure. He's the guy.
Yes, he is.
Connect Detroit, Atlanta. This is it right here.
Sure. And we're gonna keep going too. We're not stopping here. We're not stopping here. So.
I know. Well, you have
you know that.
Well, you have a home here at GMA. You keep sharing with us what you're doing, and I know it's inspiring a lot of people all around the country. Y'all take care. Be well.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good morning.
We will now, my friend.
I love this. We're turning now to pop star Benson Boone. He's gearing up for Beautiful Things on Super Bowl Sunday. Lori Bergamato is here with all of those details. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning. That's right. Benson Boone was the breakout star at last year's Grammys. Now he's getting ready to deliver on Super Bowl Sunday. This segment is sponsored by Instacart, and big game prep just got easier with groceries delivered right to your door and new features designed to help shoppers get it right.
I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't.
If his global hit, Beautiful Things, is any indicator,
These beautiful things that I've got.
Benson Boone is more than a rising star.
They made him out of fire and roses.
With powerhouse vocals, Grammy nominations, sold-out tours, and a jumpsuit collection to envy, this acrobatic pop phenom is here to stay.
How do you describe where you are right now in your career?
I think I'm less focused on like all of the things that I have done this year and more focused on all the things I want to do.
And he's off to a great start, preparing for his next big act.
Hopefully many goals.
It's a different football. They touch down.
A new Super Bowl 60 commercial starring alongside Ben Stiller for our sponsor, Instacart. The ad highlights how Instacart cares about showing up for customers with a new tool, Preference Picker.
The spot is absolutely hilarious. Can you walk us through the vision?
Me and Ben Stiller, and Ben Stiller's like my older brother in this, and we're both like putting on a show and we're singing this Instacart song.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
Get them just how you like.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
From green to extra ripe.
Use the app to control your bananas.
What a time to be alive.
I just don't believe what a time to be alive.
Sweet, get it.
No, we got it.
Tell me a little bit about the new Preference Picker tool that's featured in this commercial.
The Preference Picker tool is basically a new feature on the Instacart app that just helps you choose your perfect banana. It is something that helps you get your groceries exactly how you like them, because people are picky and, you know, they want to have their food right.
What is it like to see this come together in anticipation of it running during the big game?
For the last couple of years, I've wanted to do a Super Bowl commercial because I think they're fun. So I've been really excited to partner with Instacart and just try something a little funky, a little new, and have fun because I love the Super Bowl.
Tell me what it was like to work with Ben Stiller, who's also been having a whirlwind past couple of years.
It was so cool. It's so interesting. You're meeting people that you look up to or that you've like watched growing up. I was very impressed by him and I wanted to impress him. So I was very motivated to do a good job.
This bucket list moment marks another dream come true for Benson.
I'm still holding on to
The preference picker for his success, perseverance.
I truly believe if you really put your mind to it and commit to it, you can absolutely do it.
slow it down.
And Lara, take a look at what we have right here. The identical costumes worn by Ben Stiller and his stunt double. How cool is that?
They're very cool. Thank you for not encouraging us to put these on.
Well,
nice
you will
to see on
you will
this.
see them in action, and I cannot wait to see the commercial on Sunday.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Ben
We
Stiller.
were laughing out loud when it played.
And he's a Seahawks fan, so
Let's go.
big day.
All right. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Thanks, Benson, for this. And coming up, the CEO of the Recording Academy joining us live right here on Good Morning America.
We are back with more on the Grammys, already counting down to the ceremony coming to ABC next year. Let's talk about it with the CEO of the Recording Academy, Harvey Mason Jr. Harvey, first things first, congratulations on last night. You put on quite a show. What did you hope people took away from it?
Thank you. Well, I hope they had a good time. They were entertained. They heard some great music. They saw kind of what's happening in music, the history and what's new and what's next. And hopefully a lot of people just went away feeling uplifted and energized and happy about where we live, the future, everything that's happening right now.
Oh, they really do, because it was just so uplifting in so many ways, one performance after the other. And then Bad Bunny, who we couldn't see perform because we were going to see him perform at the Super Bowl, so we knew that he wasn't going to be able to perform.
He got close.
He got close.
He almost performed. He almost performed.
Well, just talk about how he elevates the entire industry.
Well, he's moved the needle. He's done so much for music. And you also just see kind of the globalization of music, where people are from matters so much less, what language they speak. They're finding fans no matter where they're from or no matter who's listening. And he's done an amazing job of that. And it really speaks to what's happening. Latin music, Afrobeats, music from Africa, music from the Middle East, music from India, Asia, K-pop. It's everywhere.
That's, as you just said, such a wide variety of voices and kinds of music in your nominees this year, something even Carole King praised. But that kind of work does not happen just during the nomination season, right?
No, it's year-round, and it starts actually years ago. Our membership is who vote on everything. They make the nominees, they decide who wins, they build all the rules, and we have to have the right membership. The membership has to be reflective, it has to be diverse. We need to have people from different genres, different parts of the world, and that membership has been building over the last 5 years. So now we're getting to a good place where the membership has the experience, they know the different genres of music, it can have the right outcomes in our nominations.
Yeah, you really saw that last night.
You've got us all excited. Coming to ABC next year with the Grammys. What do we have to look forward to?
Hopefully more of the same, more of what you saw tonight. But it's a great time in music. There's like a proliferation of incredible talent. You're seeing people, again, from different parts of the world making music. The exciting thing is you never know what's going to be next. The best new artist class every year seems to get better and better. You get to see the icons, the legends, the young up-and-comers. To me, it's a great time in music, and it's a great time to be with you all.
And how do you keep things so fresh? I mean, it's just like you just every single year, it just takes it to another level, and whether it's K-pop or whatnot. So how do you go about keeping things fresh?
Well, it's a little bit easy for us because we have music. Music is changing every year, it's evolving. You're always getting a new class of young, incredible talent, inspiring talent. And then we're always, as musicians, creating. We're always thinking of what's next. How can we innovate or iterate on the sound? How can we bring a couple genres together, and the Grammys tries to reflect that.
Okay, we're going to keep it fresh for you next year. Are you ready? Are you ready for ABC, Harvey? Let me hear you say, are you ready for us?
I'm ready. I am so ready, and we can't tell you how excited we are. We're going to have a great time together and hopefully continue to uplift. You know, the show last night, you asked what I was hoping people would take away. I felt like we needed a moment to just rest and understand what was going on, but also step away from it and come together and be uplifted. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of that.
Well, you did it all last night, but first, get some sleep. Happy Monday.